Welcome back to WAS a Day, where WAS today is Copy 2 Plus version 2, a 1981 release running here on the Apple IIe and Virtual 2. This is a diskette duplication program from Central Point Software, kind of an early one alongside Locksmith, which we've taken a look at here before, which I'll link to in the description below. But this is Copy 2 Plus version 2. I think the first version, there's also a dump of that in the WAS a Day archive. We'll hit that later on. Also a 1981 release, so I'm not sure what the time gap between these two was. We're going to copy from slot 6 drive 1 to slot 6 drive 2 here. We can do the default end track of 22. We can do no half track checking. Then we can press return to go ahead and start copying. So we're going to copy that floppy here. By default, right now we've just got the copy 2 plus in slot 1, or drive 1, if you want to call it that, I guess. And Virtual 2 here, and we could try to copy that. I have tried to copy the program itself using itself. It doesn't seem to work for this one. That's what I tried with Locksmith as well, so that's not too exciting to watch. But what I thought I might do is maybe demonstrate how this actually works is copy the cracked version of a game alongside the WAS version of a game and show you how that works. So I've got Centipede, got the 4 AM cracked DSK version of it. Let's copy that first to a blank WAS disk image that we create in Virtual 2 and see how that goes. See if we can boot off that. And then we'll try the WAS, which would have the default copy protection emulated on the disk. I don't think this version of Copy 2 Plus is very good at copy protection copying, but you know, sometimes you just got to get a first version out there. By later versions of this program, this was like a serious disk copying program with all sorts of options, all sorts of track options. I think even by a couple versions later, they had like a manual that they would distribute with it that would tell you like copy parameters for various popular copy protected programs, so you could copy those disks. But I'm going to go ahead and eject those disks and put in that cracked Centipede and a blank disk in slot 2 and start the copy. All right, we're back. I've got my cracked Centipede in drive 1 and my blank disk image in drive 2. I'm going to hit return to begin copying. This is the really exciting stuff, folks. Disk copying. Although it is interesting that, you know, this program won't copy itself. You can see, I'm just going to keep the flux visualization for Copy 2 Plus up here above my head. You can probably see it there. Yeah, I started doing that as I got back to this. I think it's kind of cool to have the flux visualizations for what I'm looking at. Yeah, so it's done copying. Let's go ahead and eject those disks and put in the copied disk and see if we can boot up our copied cracked Centipede. All right, we're back here. I've got my duplicated disk in drive 1. Let's reboot and see what happens. We should get Centipede. That's Centipede. So Copy 2 Plus will work with cracked, you know, DOS disks that are just normal disks. But if you try to copy a copy protected disk, it doesn't do so hot. So maybe we'll try that here. Go ahead and swap back. Then we'll reboot back into Copy 2 Plus version 2. All right, here we are back with Copy 2 Plus in drive 1. I'm going to go ahead and reboot. Pretty quick booting on Copy 2 Plus. We're going to go ahead and do all the defaults here, and then once we get to this part, I'm going to put in the copy protected version of Centipede, the WAS file, into slot 1 and a blank WAS file into slot 2 or drive 2. I keep saying slot, I don't know why, but go ahead and put those in, and I will see you once I've done that. All right, we're back. I've got a copy protected Centipede in drive 1 and a blank disk image in drive 2. I'm gonna hit return. Let's try to copy that floppy again and see what happens. Also, fairly fast, even without emulator fast forward. I don't know if that's due to the nature of these Centipede disk images, or if there's other disk images that are slower. I know if you try to copy Copy 2 Plus itself, it just seems to go on forever. Not sure if we're gonna have that problem with the copy protected Centipede. I think it'll get to the end. All right, yeah, there we are. So I'm going to go ahead and put that duplicate we just made into drive one, and I will see you once I've done that. All right, we're back with our copy protected copy in drive one. Moment of truth. Let's reboot and see what happens. I think we might just get an infinite disk spin here. I don't know if there's going to be any resolution to this. Let's see here. I think it just doesn't boot. I think it just makes an unbootable disk. So yeah, you can see why you need cracks if you want to use just basic disk copying, and why some of these WAS disk images are kind of interesting, because you can boot up those WAS disk images just fine. If I boot up that Centipede WAS, it'll pass all the copy protection and everything. I don't have to have a crack or anything. But the cracked version, it boots fine, and also it can be copied just fine because the copy protection isn't there. But I think that's going to do it here for me today with Copy 2 Plus version 2 for WASAday. And if you like disk copying utilities for the Apple II, then go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time for our next WASAday.